Hello, my name is Melissa McCartney. This is my Module 3 assignment, my usability test. So, my usability test was conducted with my seventh grade English students. I designed an online star review course, a badge challenge for my students. And I was able to conduct my usability test during a class period. We have 50-minute class periods. And so my usability test lasted approximately 40 minutes. I was able to have them complete the Start Here module and the first activity module, or at least begin completing that first module. And I was able to observe the students as they were working through it. I was able to get feedback as they were working. And then also after the test, I used the class time that was left to conduct some interviews with my students individually and with the whole class. So I was able to get a lot of valuable feedback from my usability test. So reflect on who you were able to have conduct the usability testing. Were you able to get the right people? Why or why not? And what can you do to better improve this in the future? I believe I got the perfect audience for this because I got the exact audience that I was building this for. And so that was the best feedback I could have gotten. I also got some feedback from the other teachers at my campus, the other English teachers, because I actually designed this for the other seventh grade teachers on my campus as well. So I was able to get their feedback. And one place I think where I could have improved was it probably would have been a smart idea to ask my curriculum, our English curriculum director at our district for some help. I think getting her feedback would have helped me take care of some of the issues I ended up having with like aligning my course modules to the assessment. And she maybe could have helped me recognize that before I got to that point. So, what impact did your platform have on the testing and the results? I use Google Classroom. We're a Google district at my campus. And so my students are very comfortable with Google Classroom. They're very comfortable with Google Suite. And so I chose that and I use Google Slides for the same reason. It was wonderful because my students were very familiar with all the controls, they knew how to use it. And so they were able to get right to the content without having a lot of technical difficulty getting there, not knowing where things were. What were lessons you learned from the usability testing feedback? So, I learned some really valuable lessons through all of my usability tests. Number one, students need frequent measures of accountability. Some of my modules, I had too much content and not enough opportunities for students to actually practice or have some accountability for what that content was. And so I needed to fix that. Number two, that students need a variety of content and activities. Some of my modules had too much of the same things, and so my students were not engaged, and so I needed to add and adjust those. And then number three, even in an online course, human factor is still an important need. I know that because I have a one student who's homebound right now, and so she was not able to have me in the room with her, and that mattered. That made a difference, and I realized that there were some pieces that, that I still needed to fix, and I also realized that my students who had me in the room with them did better because they had me cheering them on. Sometimes middle school students, lack that, self-motivation, and so I was able to be there as the human piece to, make sure they were still getting things done and to help them with, questions they had as they came up. And what have you done to your design to address the usability issues revealed in the testing? And what have you added or taken away? So I had several things I needed to fix. So number one, I shortened some content on some of the slides. As I said before, some of the content there was just too much, and so I needed to fix that. I also shortened the videos to less than 5 minutes. So I noticed that my videos that were more than 5 minutes, some of my students didn't watch them completely, and so they were missing content. So I chose shorter videos. I needed to add more input, practice, and reflection slides. So again, like I said earlier, some of my modules had too much content and not enough student practice opportunities. So I went back and I added those. I added more slides to my Start Here module because I realized that with my homebound student, she did not understand how the badge challenge fit in with the modules, and so I didn't do a very good job explaining that in the Start Here module. So I went back and added some more things to fix that. And then lastly, I adjusted some of the assessments to better align to the modules. So I realized that some of my assessments and modules didn't line up like I thought they would. And so I was able to go through and adjust either the modules or the assessments to make sure that they were better aligned. How has this process improved your course and learners' experience? I really appreciated the feedback I received. I think my course is much better streamlined now. It's more effective. I think my students' experience is going to be better. I've taken out some of the problem areas that probably would have caused them some stress, and now it's really ready to roll out to everyone. How has the testing impacted your alignment of outcomes and activities and assessment? Being able to conduct that usability test has allowed me to better align my activities and assessments. So, for example, one of my modules, I noticed the learners were not very performing very well at the end piece, the assessment piece. And so, after talking with them, I realized that I had just missed some key concepts in the module. So, I probably just had too many, and I wasn't. Maybe rushing a little bit. And so I was able to go back and fix that before rolling it out to all of my students. How will you address the infrastructure, system, and support needs and issues learners may face? So there are a couple things that I need to do. Number one, I'm going to be in person in the room as they're completing the modules. So they're going to have me right there to help them. Number two, we are very fortunate to have a tech on our campus during the school day. So she actually can come visit our classroom if we need help, or we can reach out to her if we have any technical issues that we need help with. And number three, our district is also very lucky. We actually have a tech helpline. So we have district techs who we can call and get assistance over the phone as well. So I feel like my students are going to be really set up for success with this module, with my online course. I feel like I am ready to roll this out to all of my students, and I'm excited for them to learn this in a different way.